This is a 6-gallon wide shallow and is home to my beloved honey gourami named Winnie the Pooh. And I love him so much, he's really cute, but as of lately he's been begging for some tank mates. He is in there by himself. Actually, well, he's in there with 3 Oto sinklets, but he wants more tank mates that he can swim around with, because the Oto gang in here, they don't really swim around, they just kind of sit there and suck. So we're going to get a bigger tank so that way Winnie the Pooh can get some tank mates, maybe a school of chili raspberries to swim around with. First things first, let's completely disassemble this tank. We got to get the fish out of here, get them in their temporary holding tank. Let's get to it. Alright, we got most of the tank deconstructed here. That was actually kind of difficult. Catching the fish was really hard. As you can see here, we have all the plants in this little tiny 1.5 gallon tank. Just keeping them in there just to keep them hydrated. You don't want to let them dry out. And yeah, we got Winnie the Pooh and the Oto gang just chilling in here in their little holding tank. Yeah, let's get this all set up. That took way longer than it should have. We got the new tank in place. I'm already super excited. It looks awesome. There's nothing more satisfying than a brand new rimless tank. Alright, so this is what we came up with after playing around with the hardscape for a little bit. I think it looks pretty sweet. Next thing we need to do, we just need to take these microfiber cloths out, and we're going to put some aqua soil in there, and then we're going to cap it with sand, and then we're going to rebuild this hardscape. Alright, so we've created an edge of sand around this aquarium, and we have aqua soil in the middle. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cap off this aqua soil so that way we don't see any of it. And the reason why we have aqua soil in here, even though we're doing a sand setup, is because aqua soil contains lots of nutrients necessary for plants to grow. There are some plants that you can grow without aqua soil. You can just use sand as your substrate, but those plants will probably grow a lot slower, and we don't want that. So, and here we also have aquarium co-op root tabs. So before we go ahead and cap off the substrate layer with more sand, we are going to put these little green tablets in here, and we're going to bury them under the sand. And these contain lots of nutrients. They contain potassium, iron, so that'll help expedite the growth of our plants when we plant them in this fish tank. Alright, we have the hardscape placed. I don't know about you, but I think it's looking pretty cool. Hopefully it'll look better with the plants in. But there's one last thing I want to do before we get to the plants, and that is I want to place some river rock, some little pebbles in the foreground around all the other stones to add a little bit of more detail. You can see here we have some little tiny pebbles here, and usually when you add detail stones like this, you want to get a sort of rock or stone that kind of matches the bigger hardscape. So that way it looks like little bits and chips that broke off of the boulders in the river. You know what I'm saying? Alright, everything has been added. I think this is looking pretty sweet. I don't know about you all, but I'm liking the way this is looking so far. And I think this is going to look great with all the Vallisneria in the back, and the Java fern, and the Anubias, and the little crypts here. So I'm super excited. I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. So I guess let's start filling it up and let's start putting plants in there. By the way, for those of you wondering, this is foam poster board. This is the stuff that you get at the craft store or at a Walmart in the school section, you know what I'm saying? I always use this stuff for my backdrops. Brings it all in. It's a great way to hide all the cables. I mean, it looks so much cleaner with that. You don't see all the cables in the back. Alright, so before we continue on with filling this up with water, we're going to start planting it. It's a bit easier to plant when it's not filled up all the way, just so you don't have to like get your arm all the way in there. We have all of our plants in here. Now, this is like all of the plants from the last build that was here. So we have tons of Vallisneria, we have some Lobelia in here, and some red tiger lotus as well, which I'm not sure if we're going to be using that, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, let's start planting. Look at that root system. That is crazy. This is all one network of Vallisneria. That is the craziest. Oh my lord. That's like 6 plants all connected right there. So it has now been 2 days since this tank has been set up, and everything is looking really good, but we're not quite done yet. So here we actually have a package. My good friend Jack over in Long Island sent me some Java fern. So let's open it up. Hopefully the Java fern is still alive, and if it is, we're going to incorporate this Java fern into this aquarium. So let's open this up. Holy sh! Look at this. This is so much Java fern. It's a mat. It's a whole mat of Java fern. Jack, if you're watching this, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I love you. I can't believe I have this much Java fern. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this apart and we are gonna incorporate this in the aquarium. I'm not entirely sure what I wanna do with it just yet. So I might be just kind of playing around with it, see what works. Java fern has been added. Jack, thank you again for sending that over from New York. You're awesome. And we just need to wait for this tank to balance out and we should be good to add some fish.